you can never forget the biological and evolutionary roots of what makes attractiveness. Like I'm talking things like symmetry, low body fat percentage, clear skin, a full head of hair.
But there are
Like
examples of all those that
these
get
things are
deviated from.
unanimously. Yeah, okay, yeah,
Not
fair enough. Like you're
unanimously.
gonna have a small percentage of women that like bald guys. That you're always gonna have a market for that.
A lot of
But it's
women like chubby, like dad bod guys. That's not even like
oh
a
no,
small.
that's the biggest cope.
No, it's
That's
no,
the biggest cope.
dog.
That's
It's
not
dog.
true.
It's not a cope. Women legit do not care. Like I'm not built, and I've never had an issue. Like not once in my life.
I guarantee you would have more results if you was lean. Like if you got
Yeah, with
down to
guy with
10%
other
body fat.
guys. No, like very few guys have abs. They're really not that common. Like if you're in college, maybe because like young guys they have more free time. You have more people who are working out. But like once you're in your late 20s to 30s or whatever, very few guys have abs. So I don't think women in that environment are like, okay, well I'll date a guy, but only if he has abs. Because if they did that, like they'd be fighting over an incredibly small minority of guys. The dad bod love shit. You see tweets going viral with like a third of a million likes on like girls thirsting over guys who have kind of like built shoulders and a dad belly. You know what I mean?
No, it's not true. Like the dad bod thing is a complete myth.
It
My general take on the dad bod thing is that like if you ask women if they like a dad bod, then they'll say like, yeah, of course I do. Yeah, I like a guy who doesn't take himself too seriously. Maybe he does a little bit of exercise, but he's not in the gym every day. Like that's what they'll say. And the picture they have in their mind is some guy who actually has a top 20% physique. And that's what they think is a dad bod. But an actual dad bod is some guy who's got 25% body fat, not in shape, like is drinking 10 beers per week. Like it's just not attractive. Like there's a huge
25% body fat's
disparity.
not that much.
That's well higher. Fair enough. It might be like average if you look at broader society, like in America, the average body fat of the population is probably like 25 or 30% because there's a lot of overweight and obese people over there. But that doesn't mean it's healthy. Like the ideal body fat percentage for guys in terms of objective attractiveness is but somewhere between 10 and 12% body
Okay,
fat. Like you look at the models that are getting hired, they're all lean. They're all
Okay,
in that sub 15%
but
range.
there have been studies that have shown that the kinds of appearances that you see in models is not the kind of appearance that people go for like objectively day to day. I think there was a study on like American men and they were asked like what their ideal shape is for a woman and it ended up being something like a size 8 or size 10 dress, like a lot curvier than your average Hollywood actress. And they've done the same
Oh
thing
yeah,
with
that's
women
true.
and it's like the average guy on like Hollywood screens is like fucking yoked, like Chris Pratt or like Hemsworth or whatever. But then if you ask women like, okay, what of these body fat percentages are you into? They usually choose guys who are like a little soft, like a little bit chubby.
No, 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 no. They would always choose the guy who's lean.
That's not
But
what
there's
no,
there's
that's
a
not
disparity.
true.
No, but there's a disparity in terms of how much muscle he has. So I believe that the average woman, wouldn't want probably as much muscle as say Chris Hemsworth. But the image that gets tossed around a lot in the community of what women like as an ideal body on a guy is Brad Pitt from Fight
Yeah,
Club,
because you're
and
listening
he's
to other
still
men.
10% body fat. He's still
Listen,
10% body fat, but
nobody uses
he's
that
not as
picture
big
of
muscle.
nobody uses that picture of Brad Pitt except men. I have never seen a woman post that picture. It's always men going, this is what women like. Trust me, I've been on 4chan. I'm 29. I've been on the internet long enough. I watched Fight Club when it came out. Everyone who posts Brad Pitt is like, yeah, dude, this is what women like. Go on social media. Women are thirst posting over Slavoj Žižek. Like, the women are insane. They're all brain damaged. They don't people don't look like Brad Pitt in real life. Like one guy does, and it's Brad Pitt 30 years ago. Um the problem that I have is like this is what I mean about the echo chamber, where like you've worked out a lot because I've seen your videos. You're in really good shape. So you're justifying to yourself, like, okay, well, I have to be this or XY. Let's be real. No, you don't, and no, anyone doesn't. Your body is impressive, and you should be proud of it. But the problem that I have is this idea that's like a bunch of guys amping themselves up in an echo chamber with like 99.8% view ratios, men to women, on like, listen, man, this is what women want. This is what women want. This is what women. And if you go outside, like women are with fucking anything. Women are dating rocks. Women are dating women are dating fucking like weird greasy hippies 12 years older than they are. I have no idea. Women are insane, you know.
This
We
is
have to acknowledge
extremely
that.
far and few between. You're looking at the difference between me and you that I've noticed just in these first opening minutes is that you're looking at all of these exceptions and I'm looking at the rule. Like I'm focusing on the rule, you're focusing on the exceptions. If you look at the general rules, women want guys who are lean with, not skinny, like have a decent amount of muscle, chiseled jawline, full head of hair, clear skin, symmetrical face, yada yada yada. You get the point. I'm not denying the fact that there's women out there that date rocks. Like I've seen the headlines, the sensationalist articles or whatever. Like I married a tree. Like I've seen it before, but this is like 1 in a billion woman. There's 8 billion people in the world. Of course, you're gonna have one woman who's completely lost her nut.
It's not.
And
If you go
is dating.
outside, it's not 1 in a billion. You see women and men with arms around each other, and the guys are just like these dudes all the time. Like the women are beautiful, and the guys are just like dudes. This is one of the problems with men, is that like they all try to be fucking ugly, you know? Women put a lot of effort into their appearances. They go to salons, they like study up in aesthetic trends and fashion, they buy cute clothes, whatever. And then even guys who take care of themselves just wear shorts and polos. Like it's not like they go and do a makeup. It's not like they go and, do their nails or whatever. So there's a huge
But a lot of women
imbalance.
focus on the wrong things. No guys care about nails on a woman. Like they're mainly doing that to impress other women or, for their own self.
You're posting Brad Pitt to other men.
But no, but as in guys care more about physique because they know that actually matters. There's twice, you say that women care more about their appearance than guys do. There's twice as many guys in the gym than there are women, if not more.
Because
I'd actually say, based on visual, it's probably more like 3 times as many guys in the gym as there are women.
Because guys
women don't really go to the gym. Guys do.
Yeah, guys want to be muscular, but I'm talking about being beautiful, not about being muscular. Being beautiful means
for guys, improving your physique is part of your attractiveness. So that's why so many guys go to the gym. It is for women as well. Like if a woman goes to the gym and she does hip thrusts, she's gonna increase her SMV. Like you can tell what I'm alluding to there. But not a lot of women do it. Only the top 20% of women is doing in that stuff because they actually take it seriously enough.
Most people don't exercise, so
yeah, they don't. You're right.
Yeah, so off the bat, like if a person's in a gym consistently, they're already in the upper echelons of fitness just by virtue of showing up like that at the beginning. Like that already is impressive. But the issue I have is like it seems like a lot of your standards when it comes to attractiveness are being influenced here. Okay, let me put it this way. If you got a bunch of pictures together of like hot anime babes and you had a range of them from like a kind of normal looking anime chick to like one with huge titties and wide hips or whatever, and you asked a bunch of guys, which ones do you think are the hottest, Like a lot of guys would show bias towards the insanely hot, like ultra built, big titty anime girl. But then in real life, not all guys are going after that. Like obviously guys are like hooking up with tons of people. So the issue I have is like you show a girl 2 pictures and one of them is like a bloated fat fuck and the other one is like a super ripped guy. It's like, well, which one would you prefer? And she points at the second guy and it's like, of course, because biologically you're inclined towards being attracted to people with the highest SMV based on their evolutionary potential. It's just like, no, we're framing this in way too like empirical of a fashion, when in reality a lot of people's like attractiveness standards fluctuate constantly. We're being too essentialist, we're being too limited.
Can men make themselves more attractive, and if so, should they be responsible to do it?
Yeah, well, okay, so I think we know. So I'll answer that. Yeah, I think so. I think it's good. I just think that people sometimes get fixated on the wrong elements. Being healthy and being physically fit is good on its own for like every imaginable reason. It's good for your mental health. It literally releases the good brain chemicals. It means you get to live longer. You get to be happier while you live. Like there's a million, so many things, right? So there's lots of reasons to exercise. But in terms of like being more attractive, there are lots of things you can do to be more attractive that aren't just like working out and finding clothes that fit. You know what I mean? I think it doesn't hurt to like take a look at a good stylist. It doesn't doesn't hurt to like investigate some more modern fashionable trends for men, like even if it's like MFA on Reddit or whatever, like I think that's a lot better than how most guys dress themselves, including me. I wear mostly like sandals and anime graphic tees. So it's not like, don't practice what I preach, not what I do. And moreover, I think a lot of it is also conversational. There is so much you can do. There's so much weight you can carry by being a good conversationalist. And I think that also helps you like cut the wheat from the chaff, because there are some hot bitches out there who are just so boring to talk to. And I do not care about fucking you if you can't hold a conversation. There is no point. I might as well masturbate. Get away from me. So having a good conversational rapport means that you have the ability to kind of like better work out what you're interested in.
Waffles. If women had higher body standards than men, why don't men come even close to the same rate of eating disorders?
Wait, say that question again, please.
I think they're saying, like, if women are much more picky about the opposite sex, so assuming they're hetero, if women are much more picky about the opposite sex having a good body, well, then why aren't
okay, yeah, I understand now. Because women, as a general, generally speaking, like, are more emotional and susceptible to, like, these sorts of issues. Like, men are a lot more stoic in general, so they're less likely to have these eating disorders, because they're much more likely to think about these things logically and think like, I shouldn't starve myself, like, because that's actually going to cause damage to my body.
Being a little bit more sympathetic, I don't think it's just being emotional. I just think women are held to much higher body standards when it comes to like their appearance. Outside of the dating environment.
No way. That's a myth.
No.
Sorry to interrupt there, but that's a complete myth.
No, like in a business environment.
There is no what is it? Body positivity movement or plus size male models. They don't exist. In fact, if you go onto Google search and type in plus size, just 2 words, plus size, keep scrolling for the next 10 minutes. You won't see a single man.
I agree.
As a woman, you can be whatever shape or size you want.
Okay. Hold on.
It doesn't make a difference. For men, you got to be in top tier shape.
So first of all, no, you don't have to be in top tier shape to succeed as a man, okay? For second, okay, the reason the body positivity movement has focused more on women is because women needed it more. And the reason for that is because women are body shamed way the fuck more. There is a ton of data on this. When it comes to like, we're not just talking like dating, we're talking like society broadly, from like the way you're treated by your parents when you're young, like how moms will often like critique their 9-year-old daughters on eating too much, like, oh, you don't want to get fat, do you? Like you don't want to be ugly for men, like that kind of shit, to like grandmas and aunts doing that same shit, to like the way they're treated in business. There's a huge, like, if you're kind of like a schlubby guy, you don't get made fun of for that in your day-to-day life. You don't. It might get in the way when you're like dating, but in terms of your broader place in society, there are tons of guys who are pudgy and not that attractive, and it's just fine. They're teachers, they're professionals, they're business, they're lawyers, they're politicians, they're everyone. But with women, there's a much stricter standard, and that has been loosening, but oh my god, like, just go back a couple of decades to see how much worse it was back then than it is now, right? Like, there's a huge double standard. Oh, another way of looking at it, take a look at female judges, lawyers, and politicians. You can literally just like open up a big list of them. On average, obviously there are more men, but on average, like, there is such a difference in how you're allowed to look the further up you go with men versus women. TV anchors. Often TV anchors when they're men are attractive, but sometimes they're just like guys. They just kind of look like guys. But you take a look at every Fox News anchor. It's like every single one of the women is like this blonde, like, look-alike, Sorry, I'm rambling. Also, guys do get a critical body disorder, okay? It's called manorexia, and they keep fucking going to the gym. And they convince themselves that they're not big enough yet when they already have, like, shoulders the size of bowling balls. And that's probably not good either. We all have to have realistic expectations for ourselves.